As I am walking to Plaza Repubblica, I just want to say that on one hand, the stores are closed because of the quarantine and the restrictions in movement and operational hours, but simply a lot of people just don't have the customers in order to fund their businesses. So in all of these historical sites that are known to bring in multiple people, there aren't any tourists in order to accommodate them. So this is what Florence looks like without tourists. It is completely empty. I cannot express to you how floored I am and how it is a ghost town. So this was Plaza de República the Sunday before the quarantine, the nationwide quarantine was issued. Already, most of the tourists, majority of the tourists had left Italy, and the town had been mostly explored by the locals, the Florentines. Now, this is the same plaza 2 days later after the quarantine was issued. I never thought that I would experience this. I know I probably seem like I sound like I'm exaggerating or I'm hyping it up, but to be in a space, it's like being in New York, right? And if you've ever been in New York, you've been on the streets. I mean, it's like boom, boom, shoulder to shoulder, hit, bing, bing, bang, bang. And then all of a sudden, the whole of New York is like this. This is actually the most crowded or most people I've seen. And this is only day 2 of the quarantine. I'm going to walk around the Duomo so you can see. So the Duomo is Florence's signature architecture feature. In a lot of ways is the symbol of Florence. You have thousands of people that visit the Duomo every single day. Around this time, which is about 12:01 p.m., you have queues or lines outside waiting to go into the Duomo. But as you can see, there isn't anybody even on the streets. You have quite a few businesses closed, and only the locals are here with a splattering of tourists. But for the most part, Italy's tourism industry has taken a serious hit. So I am walking, as you can see, empty cafes, empty shops, no customers, closed shops. This is all at the Duomo, which is, if you come to Florence, the first stop is the Duomo. That is the absolute first stop. Whoa. A lot of people have been asking me, like, what does a quarantine look like? What do you have to do? What do you have to abide by? So here are some major aspects of the quarantine. Is that schools were closed prior to the nationwide quarantine issued, but after the quarantine, the 2-week closure of schools actually extended to April 3rd. As well, there is a ban on any religious ceremonies or services. There cannot be any funerals. So those who are dying of coronavirus and other things, because other people are dying of other stuff, what only can be done is a prayer by the priest over the body, and that is it. There's limited activity from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and it is encouraged that we only go to the places that are necessary. As well, there is a closure of museums and galleries and all exhibition spaces, and this is particularly a huge hit for Florence because Florence thrives off of its tourism industry. As well, there's a closure of cinema or theaters, and as well as any meetings or any swimming facilities. In addition to that, there is, as you saw with Plaza de República, there is a shuttering of all piazzas and plazas, which are large courtyards in Florence where the public gathers, sits. There's chairs or people stand around, and there are often singers, street entertainers, vendors, people hawking wares, so on and so forth. But that is all totally shut down. As well, there's a limitation in transportation to get in and out of the city and even around the city. It has been requested that if you have to use transportation, public transportation, for it to only be for essential reasons.